Hello and welcome. This is attorney Brad Micklin. I'm the managing member of the Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in divorce, custody, and family law issues, located in Nutley, New Jersey. As some of you may know, I do a daily tip each day to give you some simple advice on legal matters, and I do monthly webinars to give you much more lengthy advice. This is part of a how-to series I'm doing, which is kind of a blend between the two. It's more information than the daily tip, but it's a lot less than the webinar. It's just intended to give you some more information because it's a very difficult process no matter where you are. So today's video is how to prepare for court. Now this is a difficult area because every court hearing is going to be different, and this video is really intended more for oral argument on a motion. In New Jersey, that's generally where the most activity is going to happen in a case, any type of case, whether it be a custody case or a divorce case. Motion and oral arguments are going to be the most activity, so you need the most preparation. So the first thing that you want to do is go back and reread all the papers that were filed, both yours and the other parties. You want to be familiar with what arguments you made. You want to be familiar with what they responded to. You also want to make sure that everything that was referenced in both the papers are attached so that when it went to the judge got all the information that he or she needed. Next, and again, some of this advice is going to be a little difficult if you're representing yourself, but you might want to read some of the court rules that relate to your issues. Sometimes the motion papers will address that and tell you what the court rules. They're usually indicated by a capital R with a period and then a number with a colon and then a number with a dash following it. What I usually recommend is that you type that number into a web browser search. You can put New Jersey court rule and then put R colon and then whatever the number that follows is. There's a good chance you'll actually get the text of the rule that comes up, or maybe a case that deals with the rule that comes up. You got to be careful because there's a lot of information on the internet, and you can't be certain you're going to get the right one. But I think it would be helpful to try and get the court rules so that you have some familiarity with what's going to be happening when you actually get there. Next is you want to try to research the judge that you were before. Again, a simple web browser will bring up some information. It's helpful to know how long the judge has been on the bench. It's helpful to know what he or she did before coming to family court. You'll find a lot of judges in family court don't actually have a lot of family experience before being appointed. They're simply appointed and put into a position, so don't assume that's because they're there that they have this great wealth of knowledge or experience. Unfortunately, some of them may not. You also want to get a sense of the personality. You know, for instance, if a lot of judges, for instance, will have a prosecutor background, and that's a certain mentality, I think, of a guilty until innocent mentality, where they're used to dealing with people that are maybe less than straightforward. They may have committed crimes, so they have often a mentality. Not judges, but prosecutors often have a mentality of the people are guilty. So if you have a judge who spent a lot of time, for instance, doing that kind of work, you may want to know that because that may be either helpful or against the kind of position. You don't want to be taken by surprise when you get there. Next, you might want to try to do a brief internet search. Again, you got to be very careful. There's a great deal of information out there. It doesn't necessarily mean it's accurate. Be very specific in the word choices that you use when you do pull up research or results. I would make sure that you're only reading them from attorneys' websites. A lot of attorneys, like myself, have a great deal of information on our websites, so you can try to rely on a lot of that. I'd be very careful about reading any kind of blanket texts or books on information because you're not really sure if it's accurate. You're also not sure if it's binding in your state, which is most likely if you're watching this in New Jersey. Second to last, I would consider having a consultation with an attorney. Many attorneys won't be able to really advise you on a matter that's pending, but because many do charge for a consultation, you can actually get legal advice on a pending matter. I know when I do a consultation, whether it's for representation or for advice, I get all the client documents in advance, so I know what you need to discuss when you come in. It's not like you're coming in with papers and they're not prepared to give you answers. Now, most lawyers I know don't actually do that, but if you come in with the papers, if they don't do that, for instance, if you come in with the papers, they can probably review them and give you some indication of what to expect. And last, you want to call and confirm that you're actually scheduled for oral argument. Again, this is mostly intended for motion preparation. Not every case is scheduled for argument, so you want to make sure that yours is and make sure what the time is, because otherwise you may take off work and go there and end up for no reason. They also may have changed the date, and you might not have known that. Sometimes you get a notice, sometimes you don't. So you want to confirm that. And then I guess it can't hurt to confirm with the other side that they're also aware and planning to appear. If there's an attorney on the other side, it's a lot easier, but you're dealing with the other party. It's sometimes very taxing, but you don't want to get there and then find out that they didn't know or that they thought it was a different time. So I hope this information helps you. Again, this is a how-to video on the preparing for motion or oral argument. Some of the advice will help you in other types of hearings that you will have, but primarily that's what this is intended for. If you need more information on this or any other matter, you can certainly go to our website. Domain is micklinlawgroup.com. That's MICKLIN, lawgroup.com, all one word. We have, as I mentioned, daily tips that are up there. We have a video consultation room, webinar archive page that lists all the media that we've posted in addition to what you're seeing today. And you can also call us at 973-562-0100 if you're interested in scheduling a consultation to have more questions answered. Thank you.